Okay, 9 people. Jeez, that was 4 attempts at getting to get that thumbnail right, and I still don't think I got it right. Okay, Simon Bridges, hello. Sean Moore, what a thumbnail. Okay, it's probably not the set. Oh yeah, I'm live anyway. I've just told my Microsoft Edge has just told me that I'm live. Okay. 11 people in the chat. Good evening. It's Monday evening. It's the 26th of July, and it's the 26th of July, and well, it's 2021, and everything's still pretty crap, to be honest with you. Okay. Hiya. Good evening from Oxford. Oh, very sounds very nice there. Good evening. Derek Mack, Kim Farang, Joey Roberts, Kev Twine. I like both of them. Dixie Normus. Who else was there? Someone else there. I missed you. Apologies if I missed you. Tree Town, Hanson Farang, Jack Redman, Damon Simmons, Tune 9, hello from Geordie Land. Never been to Geordie Land, but I'm sure there's a lot of good things. Henry Mann, Moto Kenny, Melton Mowbray Pork Pie. I haven't got any of them tonight, but I have got a few of the Lidl's quality stuff in the oven at the moment anyway. So good evening to everyone. Brian Hudson from Liverpool, George West. Seaman Thailand, Eddie, 2025. Jesus, good. That's a long way away. That is. That's a long way away. Okay, K67. I said, tune in again for another night's chat. Okay, so I suppose this could be a little bit of a reckless live stream. Tricky Ricky, I suffer from really bad anxiety, and your live stream calms me down. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm really pleased to hear that. That's a very nice comment there. Thank you. Ren Dog, Alan Hunter. I've got Toronto in here. Hello to Canada. Daniel Mills, Phantom Lord, Eden Williams, Paul Hoskin, Little Lasagna. Paul Hoskin, Little Lasagna. How did you know? I've got a Lidl's lasagna in the oven there. And a few other Lidl's specialities anyway. So have you ever considered that, some of the best meals that you've ever had are the ones where you just open the fridge and you think, well, I'm going to eat that, just all the stuff that's sort of left over or, is going to go out of date pretty soon. Just bung it in the oven. And sometimes it can make a really good dinner. Dave Cook, great to see you. Bold as ever, what are you being up to? Oh, it's what did 26th of July, okay? Now, as far as day, which will be September the 6th, that's when I'm going to be on an airplane, okay? That's 6 weeks to go, but I still don't know where I'm going. I haven't booked anything. There's still so much uncertainty all around the world and everywhere, but I've got my focus set on September the 6th, which is 6 weeks today. And I want to be on an airplane because I've got to have my life again. I want my life back. Let's see. Damon Simmons, what's in the oven? I just stuffed my face with the Pizza Hut pepperoni. Well, there's lasagna, Lidl's lasagna in there. Paul Hoskin got it right anyway. Okay. Philip Mulville, where in Mexico, Ed? Well, if you go to Mexico, I would plan on doing a lot of places because it's a big country and it's a big visa, a 6-month visa. So I'd be planning on doing a lot of places. But back to the bit about being reckless. Right now in 2021, you have to be reckless to really go abroad now because so many people are telling you that you shouldn't do it, and you only have to look at the details, all the hiccups that are out there. 1 minute the country's on a green list, the next it's amber. It may go red. You never know what's going to happen next. So really, to travel, you have got to be a bit reckless. What's another word for it? Oh, lovely word, insouciant. Yeah, you've got to be insouciant right now. I know that there's the antivirus out there. There's restrictions. There's potential lockdowns and all kinds of dreadful things that can happen. But if you want to really do something, you sometimes got to throw caution to the wind and be insouciant. Just be be casual about the potential dangers or whatever. Just don't worry about it. Just get out there and do it. Either get out there and do it, or stay at home and die of boredom. And I don't want to stay at home and die of boredom. I really, really don't. I've had enough of it. Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, a 6-month visa. Is that on arrival, or do you have to apply for that? And I believe it's automatic when you arrive. I think that's on arrival, as far as I know. And Mexico is a very, very generous visa. It's I think it's 180 days. That's what it is. It's 180 days when you arrive there as a tourist, and it's under normal circumstances, which these are not normal circumstances. You can stay for 180 days, which is basically 6 months or near enough to it. So if I do book that flight, and I'm gonna have to make a decision, I can't do that. Let me just tell you something about Mexico, right? I've been mentioning it a lot recently, and all roads seem to lead back to Mexico. There is a reason that last year during the pandemic, during the lockdowns, a lot of vloggers went out to Mexico simply because it was the only country that was offering anything. It was the only country that was open for business. Or hoping for business, or whatever way you want to put it. But a lot of vloggers went out to Mexico, and it's the videos that they made weren't really very, very exciting. But I know for the fact that there's a lot to that country, beautiful beaches and a lot of great stuff that can make a good video. But I'm looking at Mexico. I've shied away from it simply because everyone else was doing it, but I'm looking at Mexico right now, maybe for the potential 6 months, not just Mexico, but those other wonderful Central American countries that are close by. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, I've been to both of those places, Belize, and also, and I didn't even consider this before, I don't know what the potential is for it under the current circumstances, but Panama. I've never been to Panama, and I wouldn't mind going there. I'm sure there's a lot of really, really interesting things, but the fact is, since I've been talking about Mexico quite a bit recently, I've had a real mixed reaction. Some people have said, Eddie, get your ass out of Mexico. There's loads going on there. It's open for business. You won't have any problems. You won't have to quarantine for 2 weeks. You won't have to do this, that, and the other. Just get out there and start doing it. A lot of people have been encouraging me. Whereas other people, especially in the last few days, have been saying, no, Eddie, whatever you do, don't do it. Do not book that flight. You will regret it. Because some people believe Mexico is going to go on the red list pretty soon. I mean, it may well be. But, the fact is, that you have to look at the overall picture. It hasn't been, as far as I know, it's been open ever since, the rest of the world's been suffering this dreadful soap opera pandemic. But it's still open now. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Sometimes, you can talk your way out of something. You can look at what's happening. Other people can say, don't do it. Sometimes if you want to do something in life, you've simply got to be a bit reckless. Be insouciant. Throw caution to the wind. Just get out there and do it. I'm fed up of not traveling. Okay, so anyway, what do people think about Mexico right now? Let's see. Let's see. Who's mentioning Colombia there? Robert Muir. Colombia is great. I live here, and with the pound so high, it's so cheap. Think about it. You can meet you in Cali. So much to do in Cali. I've been to Cali in Colombia. I've been there. I've traveled through Colombia. I wouldn't mind again. But as far as I know, at this moment in time, and I do believe that the South American continent is really on the red list for us. I think it's a bit of a no-go area for us Brits. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm thinking more Mexico and the Central American countries. I don't think I'll be going as South America. Robert Muir, Colombia has no... This is getting more interesting, isn't it? This is getting more interesting. Robert Muir, Colombia has no tests, nothing, and tourists are coming. Why have I not been researching Colombia? Why have I not been looking at videos and other, other stuff. I haven't really. I just think South America's out of bounds to us. But you're telling me that it's open for business. I'm sure Colombia's a lot of good. The good thing about those Latin American countries, in case you don't know this, I've traveled all through South America, from Rio right down to deepest Argentina, and then right the way back up from Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, then right through the Amazon, back into North Brazil. And one great thing about those countries, they're actually very, very relaxed when it comes to visas, border crossings. You don't really have to have a hassle. I mean, you have to pay for visas in Cambodia, Vietnam, various other countries. Thailand will give you a month visa and you've got to extend it and whatever. But a lot of those countries in South America, you will simply turn up at the border and they'll give you 2 months. Sometimes they'll give you 3 months. I think Brazil might even have a full 6 months. I think it does. Mexico, which is not the South American continent, that's North America, but they have a 6-month visa. That part of the world is actually far more relaxed about visas than Southeast Asia is. So it is actually in many ways an easier place to travel through. So, Melton Mowbray pork pie. I like the t-shirt, Eddie. That's, shopping, but they're nice and comfortable. I wear comfortable. I don't care what I like comfortable t-shirts. This is an old girlfriend of mine. She only comes out once a year, Halloween. Okay. Glenn Whitworth. It's so sad to watch the Thai anti-IRIS cases count Mount Daly. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. And but I just think I think Southeast Asia is off the menu this year. Much as it got to, you've got to come to the point. I mean, it's we're almost into August now, and things are not looking good out there at all. And you just got to come to the point where it just looks like it's off the menu. I'm thinking I'm going to forgo Southeast Asia this winter time. Well, I did last year. I had a flight booked, but it got cancelled. But I'm headed towards Latin America. That really, really seems to be the place where I'm going to stand any chance of doing any travel. Let's see. High five. If it goes on red list now when you turn on. Shock City Rocker. God, there's a good name. I haven't heard from you before. Nice name. Mexico is amazing. I'm sure it is. I booked a flight probably about 15, 16 years ago, something like that, to Cancun. It was a return ticket. It was about 2 months that I booked it for. But I stayed in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. But then I was more interested in going on to the Central American countries. So I wasn't as experienced a traveler then. I'd done a bit of a daft routine. I think what did I do? I think I crossed over the border, the land border from Mexico into Belize. I seem to recall that's what I did. And then spent the time in Belize and then flew from Belize to Costa Rica. Spent a bit of time in Costa Rica, which the bits I see were a bit overrated, really. And then took a light aircraft into Nicaragua. And I loved Nicaragua. I thought it was really, really quirky, and it was just great fun. It was just a great, really, really raw-edged, a place which deserves to be a classic traveling adventure. I really liked it. And then from Nicaragua, went overland, crossed the border, overland, back into Costa Rica, and then went from Costa Rica back to Belize. Really? Did I? Yeah. And then crossed back overland into Mexico. A bit of a daft way of doing things. Not the perfect way, but I done that for a couple of months. And it was quite interesting. But I wouldn't mind doing that sort of thing for 6 months and doing it properly this time. Seeing Mexico properly and maybe spending a bit more time in maybe Nicaragua. Guatemala is supposed to be an amazing country. But, if you like landscapes and volcanoes and that sort of stuff, it's supposed to be... The Lonely Planet has always given Guatemala really, really high ratings in that department. But I wouldn't mind making as far as Panama. I don't, under normal circumstances, I could, plan stuff like that and just get out there and do it. But it's all this bloody anti-IRIS rubbish PCR test and all lockdowns and red lists and green lists and everything that's doing me head in. Richard, go do the quarantine, waste 2 weeks, then have a great time for months afterwards. You won't regret it. Which country are you talking about? Are you talking about Thailand? I mean, you know, I don't think I'd have a good time there. See, I know some people, you know, are still going to Thailand because there's still nice ladies out there, and they may be meeting a partner or whatever out there. Right now, I'm thinking of this YouTube channel. I really want to expand this YouTube channel. I mean, it's been sort of dormant. Well, I've done live streams over the last year, but I want to get out there and start making videos again. And I need to make videos in a country that's got a bit of life about it. And I don't want to be making videos about bar closures and entertainment areas, which are are depressing. I mean, what can you do? How many videos like that can you watch? I think I'd stand a far greater chance of making some decent videos in Mexico and the Central American countries. Ian UK, go for it, Ed. Look forward to the vlogs too. Well, I look forward to making them. I really want to start doing stuff. I really, really do. Yami Yukarata or something like that, whatever your name is. Colombia has a high criminality rate at the moment. I don't think there's anything new about that with regards to Colombia, the high criminality rate. It's always been a bit notorious in that department. Perhaps what you mean is that because there's so few tourists and because people are struggling in the pandemic, there probably is a higher rate of crime, simply because people are more desperate now than they would have been before, and that's probably the case with a lot of countries right now. Maybe even Southeast Asia, there's probably more crime there now than there normally would be. But when people get hungry, they get desperate. It's very, very sad. Elliot, get yourself to Medellin, Colombia. I've been there and done that. Good city, surprisingly likable city, that one. Tampa guy, this is the kind of comment that wins me over. This is, good positives. Tampa guy, 35. Take the bull by the horns and go for it, Eddie. Mexico is a beautiful country. Thanks, mate. That sounds really encouraging. Really, it sounds really encouraging. Thank you. Robert Muir, I'm sorry about the red list. Philip Mulville, where will you be in Guadalajara? Where is Guadalajara? Where is that? Is that Mexico? Yeah, Mexico. Shock City Rocker suggests checking out Guadalajara, Oaxaca, Mexico City, and definitely the Pueblo Magicos. Now, I haven't been to any of those places. Mexico is a big country, and there's lots and lots of places there that I haven't been to, and I really, really would like to visit. Porto Vallarta, I mean, I've heard good things about that. Yeah, I'd love to visit that. Jesus, I'd book the flight. I'd book it tonight, the flight. But it's just the uncertainty around it. I'm trying to psych myself up to be a bit reckless and think to myself, I'm not going to let some of the negative stuff put me off. At the end of the day, what am I going to lose? I've got a voucher still somewhere deep in my email list for £550. I better start using that soon before it goes invalid. Just book the damn flight. Book the damn flight. Okay. Pizza Blue. What about Cuba, Eddie? I spent my 40th birthday in Cuba. I was only there for a few weeks in Cuba. Havana, Trinidad, a beautiful little town called Trinidad. Where else? Baradero. And Jesus, Cuba was, I thought it was wonderful. Maybe, I didn't see as much as I should have seen, but it was really, really, I wouldn't mind another visit to Cuba. I wouldn't say no. Some beautiful women in Cuba. There are beautiful women. Do you know what? However you perceive Cuban women, you make whether you perceive them as being fat or skinny or whatever, some of them have the most magnificent bodies, and I swear, Cuban women, black Cuban women or Hispanic-looking Cuban women, They are solid, very, very solid features and lovely, lovely big knockers. A lot of them are beautiful, beautiful big knockers. Yeah, you know, oh, beautiful. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind another visit to Cuba. Honestly, man, I swear it. You know, I've been pretty good at planning my travels in the past. I once planned 6 months in South America, and it went to plan. It went all that I planned. I went right ahead and did it. I could do that again easily. What is knacking the whole damn thing up is all this bloody uncertainty surrounding the red list, green list, lockdowns, PC, all the other crap that goes with it. I don't like any of this stuff. I really don't. You know, I've got to overcome all of this stuff and be a bit reckless and just think, what the hell? Just get on and do it, man. Rain. Central America is rough. Mexico is easy. Yeah, I think you could be right there. You could be right. I think Central America probably is a lot more dodgy. Countries like Nicaragua, Costa Rica, what was the other one that I went? Belize. They probably are more rough, and you do have to be more careful. On my brief time in Mexico, I did get the impression that it is actually quite a safe country. Now I know things have happened since then, these massive drug wars and all of this, bloody machine gun shootings in Acapulco and whatever. But I think with the tours, I have an idea that Mexico is probably quite a safe country. I heard another vlogger saying that there's actually very little street crime in Mexico. Of course, you've got to be careful wherever you go. What about Panama? Does anyone know anything about Panama? I never actually been to that country, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a visit to Panama. In UK, have you watched Kurt Kaz? Yeah, I've watched Kurt Kaz. I think is he German? Is he German? Do some bloody good vlogs, you know, around. I like some of those young guys, you know, do the real action stuff around those countries. I like Kurt Kaz. I also like a lot Indigo Traveller. He's also bloody good. You know, they make good videos, no doubt about that. Who said that? Yeah, cold. I can't even pronounce some of these bloody names. Colder Piran, yeah, I think it's something like that. A friend has been in Mexico since January, hated it first, but now loves it. I think you've got to absorb yourself in a place. Oh, come on, I've seen videos of Mexico. There's a massive coastline, isn't it? Caribbean and Pacific, massive coastline. There's some beautiful beaches. I mean, Playa del Carmen is a lovely beach. When I first went to Cancun, I couldn't take to that place at first. The town centre seemed very, very brash, and getting access to the beach, it was a bit awkward. I mean, it was do you have to go down alleyways and, you know, cross bloody all-inclusives and do all this kind of stuff to get to the beach in Cancun? I couldn't take to Cancun, but about 100 miles away, I think it's about 100 miles away, Playa del Carmen, far, far, far more like. Playa del Carmen's a lovely place, really, really likable. Okay, who's this? Somebody sent me what about Cuba? China, yeah, okay. Peaceably, what about Cuba? Yeah, absolutely. Where am I now? Okay, let me get back up. Okay, Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson. Yeah, thanks for that super chat, Andrew. I hope all's well. And I'm sure Andrew won't mind me saying he's got a lovely lady waiting for him. I've seen a picture, beautiful, absolutely. Yeah, good for you, mate. Just do it, as he's spare at the moment. Go for it, mate. Absolutely. You know, I mean, Andrew's went out to Thailand last year when the rest of us people like me were just diddling about it, and he's going out there again. Good luck to you, man. And I'm sure you know what you're doing. So just do it. Spare at the moment. Go for it, mate. I wouldn't exactly do spare at the moment, but I like to plan. I'm a bit of an obsessive planner when it comes to traveling. But I'm pretty good at that. I've done enough travels over the years, planned them, and they've gone to plan, without a problem. But obviously this Antares is a spanner in the works. But I'm setting my target to 6 weeks today. Six weeks tonight, Monday night, September the 6th. I'm expecting to be on a bloody airplane. And whether I have to wear a mask or whatever, I don't care. Now let's see. Let's see. CB. Oh, okay. Melton Mobley pork pie. Kirk Kaz is South African. Is he? Yeah. Well, okay, good for him. And he does a good channel. He does a good channel. James Cup. I'm thinking of Mexico myself. Jesus, this Daniel Mills. Daniel Mills has just said. Philip Mol. I'm going to go to Philip Mulvin. Okay, he's just said something interesting. But before I repeat that, I'm gonna pour myself a special Lidl's Reverie. Okay, I love this brand. It's about 13.5 quid for a 70 cl bottle, and it is bloody good. God, get in there. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Reverie. It is a finest French brandy. I don't think it's made in Liverpool like the Scouser brandy, which I used to have. Okay, finest French brandy, Reverie from Lidl's. No, they're not paying me for this. It's about 13.5 quid from Lidl for the 70 cl bottle, and it is bloody good. Oh, that is so damn good. So good. I've got to have another sip. Oh, love it. Love it. Okay, where were we? Philip Mulville at Mountains of Mexico, like a Clint Eastwood movie. Awesome. Now, that sounds good. I've seen these videos of Mexico. I've been watching quite a few of them, and it sure looks like a good landscape. Now, I love landscapes. I absolutely love them. Mountains of Mexico. I'll tell you what, I didn't see that much in Mexico, but what I did see looked fairly impressive. I mean, the South American continent, I've seen some awesome landscapes. Brazil's got an awesome landscape. Ecuador. Now, a lot of people think that Peru is probably the best landscape in South America. I traveled all through Peru on a bus, and Peru does have an awesome landscape. But I thought out of all those countries, the real deal was Bolivia. Oh, but Bolivia, magnificent. Beautiful town called Tepiza, surrounded by rainbow-colored mountains. And I traveled up through one of those, all through Bolivia, through those rickety old buses, those public buses that they have, painted in psychedelic colors. And you're going up and out into the mountains, and a lot of these places you're going about 4 kilometers above sea level, and you go on the mountains on some of the most dangerous roads in the world, and you're just going up and up and up. Absolutely amazing. But I love landscapes, and I would love to travel around Mexico and see the landscape. See the landscape. I mean, that's a good comment, Philip Mulville. I appreciate that. If you're going to be in any place, you want it to look good. Rob Bellamy, hello to Rob. Daniel Mills, Brazil. Brazil's a magnificent country. I've spent months in Brazil. I've stayed in the rainforest and traveled through the Amazon by boat. Absolutely fantastic. But as far as I know, right now at this moment in time, I think it's a no-go area. I think for us Brits, I think Brazil is out of bounds. As last time I looked, don't go there. I think they've got a lot of that Antares there. Probably maybe Mexico has as well, but I mean, we're told not to go to Brazil. I would love to visit that place again. I really would. Yeah. Carl Tiffany, Ed, Mexico or Colombia. I look forward to your vlogs. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Absolutely. I may just have Mexico looks like the obvious one. to book a flight to, but I may just have another look at Colombia. But I know I'm repeating myself here, but I just think South America's out of bounds to us. I just think it's, and if it's out of bounds to us, I mean, what's the insurance going to be like? I mean, it's and also you've got to consider that when you get out of these places, even if you can get out of these places, if they've really got horrendous problems, they're going to be dead as a dodo. It's not going to be much fun when you're out there. Jeffrey Wood, Eddie, mate, we have all missed traveling because of anti-iris now. We have got to go regardless, or we will die old and miserable. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, I agree. I mean, there's enough people, terrible thing to talk about, but there's enough people who are suicidal. Well, that's an awful thing to talk about. Suicidal simply because they've been locked down, they've been unable to live their life the way they want to live it. I'm thankful that, you know, I still have work, I've got my health, I can go out and put some pennies away. You know, I'm thankful for that. I've got food on the table, got a roof over my head. I've got my little comforts of, you know, Netflix and Amazon and whatever. But I love traveling, and you know, it has now been about, what is it? Is it about 16 months since I left Thailand, end of March last year, and that seems like a very, very long time ago. And I need to start traveling again. I really, really need to do it. Darren Sharman, evening, Eddie. I flew back to the UK last Saturday from the Ukraine. I spent the last 7 weeks there. Where to look, mate? Only a 3-hour flight, less than 25 quid. Yeah, whatever. Well, I've been to the Ukraine. I have actually been there. I flew there from Turkey because I used to have a place in Turkey, and you know, I flew to the Ukraine, Kiev and Odessa. I liked Odessa a lot better than Kiev, but I'm sure there's plenty of stuff there to see. Okay, so let's see. Can't live in fear. Paul Hoskins, over Baghdad, even the slimmer clubs can't go. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking about Cancun, just got a break. Robert Muir, I come from Scotland, live in Colombia, but I can't return to the UK without being banked up in a hotel for, I think, almost £2,000. I'll have to wait. See, this is it. You see, I mean, if I was traveling for maybe 6 months, right at the end of that 6 months, do you know something? If I had to come back to the UK and be banked up in a hotel, a quarantine hotel for at the cost of almost £2,000 for a couple of weeks or 10 days, I think at the end of it, I wouldn't care so much. It wouldn't bother me that much, simply because when you're traveling for 6 months at a time, it can wear you out, and you just want to relax. You know, you just want to go home and relax. Really, at the end of my 6 months travel around South America, at the end of it all, you know, you've ate so much, you've seen all you want to do, you've taken so many photos, you've done this, that, and the other, and you've been there, you've done that. You just want to go home, basically. That's all you want to do. And if going home meant before I could get there, I had to relax in a quarantine hotel for 10 nights. I think it's more doable at the end of the travel rather than at the beginning somehow. Let's see, what have we got now? Derek Jarman, those Ukraine women, honestly, probably the most naturally beautiful women in the world. No quarantine on return either. I have to be honest with you, Darren. Those sort of Eastern European countries, I've been to Ukraine, I've been to Bulgaria, other places. Where else have I been? I've been to Poland. I know that's Central Europe, not Eastern Europe. I don't always get on very well with those countries. They seem to be rife with, I don't know, rip-offs. You know, you people who want to rip you off. You go into the wrong club and they'll overcharge you, or you go into you go into a go-go bar, which I wouldn't in those countries anyway. but you know they're ready to sting you for a lot of money. I don't really get on with a lot of the countries in that side of the world. I don't trust them. I feel far more comfortable in Southeast Asia. Really do. Who's that? Mrs. Heminger. Ed, your niece is to stay home and not travel. We enjoy your rants at home. Okay, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. It'd be a lot cheaper for me to just to stay at home and not go anywhere, but I don't know. It's not me. It's not me. I'm a traveller and I want to be travelling again. Oh, Damon Simmons. I haven't seen my Thai partner and family since December 2019. That sucks. Need to get going now. Missed them very much. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Andrew Johnson, I would stop off at some country that is green for a couple of weeks and then go home. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. And Andrew's clued up on this. That's what I was thinking. You see, if I was to get a 6-month ticket to Mexico, 180 days, whatever, during that time I planning on hopping to the other Central American countries. And you have to. This is something that nobody can plan because you never don't know how things are going to turn out. But you've just got to keep your eye on the ball and see what's green, what's amber, what's red, not just now, but in 6 months beyond. And if you see you're probably right. If you see a country that's you can get to that is on the green list, then that's probably a place where you could spend a couple of weeks. You just never know what's going to happen next. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Muzz, surely before the end of the year, they will let you self-isolate at home after 4 days, lock them on return. Also see the beach party in Phuket Sandbox, Eddie. Feedback has been sensational. The beach party in Phuket? Sensational? Well, I don't know. It's not what I heard. I haven't seen that video. I haven't seen it. Yeah, but as far as I know, Phuket is very much like a bit of a ghost town. That's what I've heard. You know, maybe you've heard different. Let's see. Asian paradise. I agree. Eddie. Those Eastern European countries are not foreigner friendly. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable in them. Some of those cities like Kiev and Krakow and what's the other one that I went? Sofia. Some of those guys, I don't know. I just think you've got to be careful there. People are just waiting to bloody rip you off in those places. I don't trust them. You know, let's see, let's see. Like yourself, I've been Michael Kelly. Like yourself, I think you mean idea. I have been going to Thailand for about 20 years, and do not matter what country you go to, there's no women better than Thai ladies. Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. I rather like the Cambodian ladies and the Vietnamese ladies. They're wonderful as well. But yeah, you know, Thai ladies, yeah, wonderful. Absolutely. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, somebody said, how do you pronounce his name? MRMRF, okay? Well, should we make an attempt at pronouncing his name? Okay, then. Forward. Is that your name? Is that your name? That country could change while you were there though. Low kind of like everything can change, man. Everything can change at 5 minutes notice. This is what I'm saying. You see, I mean, I'm an obsessive planner when it comes to travels. I'm pretty good at that. I've planned enough travel adventures in the past, and they've gone to plan. I'm pretty good at plan. I'm not one of the. I can't stand those bloody change your plan people. You know, I'm going to go there, and no, I'm not going there. And I've had to change it, but I can't stand those bloody people. I'm an articulate traveller. Make your bloody mind up. Get in there. Plan it. Do it, man. But this current situation has thrown a spanner in the works, an almighty spanner, and I don't like it. I don't like it, and that's why I'm coming to the point. Rather than being an obsessive plan anymore, I'm coming to the point where I just realised that I just got to be reckless. I've got to just say to hell with the whole lot of it. All of these things. Just if you see a country it's open, get out there and do it. and just face the consequences. But on a serious note, now there is the insurance stuff. I mean, maybe different to get insurance with some of these countries. But on a serious note, if the worst came to the worst, and I was to, be insouciant or reckless, if you want to prefer, and go out to Mexico and travel around, and if the worst came to the worst, and all of a sudden I got the antivirus in a severe way and ended up in hospital, ended up having severe problems, I know that no one would sympathize with me. I know that there are people who would say, well, Eddie, you took your chances, it's your own bloody fault. If you're there in Mexico in a scabby hospital, which you have to pay for, a mask on, breathing in oxygen, fighting for your life. I know there's lots of people that say, well, it's his own fault. It's his own fault. He took the chance. He knew what he was doing. It's his own fault. We warned him against it. Okay, I know that. But life's full of risks. Sometimes, if you want to do anything, you've got to take risks. Otherwise, what is the alternative? The alternative is staying in England in the bloody pissing down rain right throughout the winter and being depressed. I'll take me chance. And I'll be on a beach in Playa del Carmen. Susan John looks like a Mexican Day of the Dead t-shirt. Not exactly. I actually bought this in Pattaya. This actually comes from a shop on Second Road. He's a good guy right at the end towards Pattaya Klang. I bought a bunch of very comfortable. That's the important thing. Good to hear from you, Susan John. Anyway, nice to hear from you, mate. Okay, now let's see. What else have we got? Asian paradise. I would sympathize because it might happen to me. Yeah, absolutely. But the fact is, if the worst came to the worst, and I was bloody fighting for my life in a Mexican hospital, I'm man enough. I would man up and say, okay, no one else is to blame for this other than me. I would man up and say, this is me that put myself in this situation. Not woe is me, but but that's what you have to do. Listen, when I travelled in many countries, especially Latin American countries like Brazil and Colombia, whenever I told people back in the UK, I'm going to go travelling through Brazil, the average man on the street says, you're absolutely crazy. Brazil, it's full of armchair. My mate went to Brazil. He got a bloody gun held to his head even before he stepped off the plane. You can't go walking around in Brazil. Load of bollocks, absolute bollocks. The average man in the street, the armchair experts know nothing. They know sod all. First-hand experience. I've actually been to Brazil, a couple of times. I turned up at Brazil. At Rio, I was able to walk around. You've got to be cautious. Of course, you've got to be cautious. I walked around Rio. I walked around Curitiba, Porto Alegre, Florianopolis, many places in Brazil. I didn't get mugged. Maybe because I didn't walk around like a dickhead, with a gold chain around my neck or expensive bloody rings and a Rolex. I didn't walk around like that. I walk around like a scruffy bastard. And it helps because people look at a scruffy bastard, even if he's a Westerner, if he's scruffy when, in a bloody t-shirt and shorts, then people think, well, he's probably not got that much money. You know what I mean? I never got mugged in Brazil. There are some people out there, some stupid bloody people who've never ventured beyond the local social club, who think you cannot go to somewhere like Brazil without getting mugged. I spent months in Brazil, months in Colombia. I never got mugged. Load of rubbish. So you've got to take chances. I mean, I know that when I went out to Brazil, after hearing all the armchair experts telling me all the doom and gloom, I'm going to be eaten by cannibals and all the rest of it. I know that if that had have happened to me, that I would have got mugged or bloody thrown into prison for, you know, a crime I didn't commit, or whatever, or got murdered, I know that no one would have sympathized with me, because they would have said, ha ha, saves you bloody right. You thought you were gung-go and now you're in the shit and all that. But I'm man enough to know that, you know, if the worst comes to the worst, then I will not blame anyone else. I'll blame me. I'll blame me, okay? I took the chance in traveling around South America. You know, never had a problem. If I had had a problem, I wouldn't have blamed anyone else. I'd have blamed me. I'd have said it was my fault for going there. But I'm prepared to take that chance, because at the end of the day, to reject risk is to reject life. I mean, how many people in this country? I mean, I don't know the obvious statistic, but there is quite an alarming statistic. The number of people in Britain who get killed each year angling, doing river sports, bloody angling, boating on the river, doing fishing. There's a number of people who get killed each year doing this kind of stuff. You know, they're not going to say, they're not going to look at the statistics saying, you know, somebody died angling, you know, he got caught in the net and, you know, whatever, and he drowned in the water. I'm not going to do this anymore. They're not going to do that. You just have to get on with your life and take a few risks. But the important thing is about taking risks is that if the worst comes to the worst, don't blame anyone else. Just blame yourself. Well, I'm man enough to blame myself. I will blame myself. And if I go traveling and, you know, if the worst comes to the worst, if I do get this dreadful illness and end up in, you know, an oxygen tent in a crummy Mexican hospital, I will blame me. And I'll just say that, well, that's it. You know, that's, you know, that's the way that it is. That's the way that it is. I still think, by the way, in terms of statistics, I think if I went traveling around Mexico or maybe those other Central American countries, and I actually think between me getting the antivirus and ended up in a severely ill in hospital, or a young person who goes out to Vietnam and rents a motorbike when really he's got not much experience of riding motorbikes. He just rents a motorbike because in Vietnam, that's the done thing. That's how you get around. I actually think that the young man who rents a motorbike in Vietnam has got more chance of being killed or seriously injured than I have of going out to Mexico at this moment in time. I mean, there's enough, you know, you look at the statistics of motorbikes, people who are killed and injured, that they probably far outweigh, you know, the this anxiety stuff. Let's see. Okay. Jonathan Baldwin. Okay. Oh, let's see. Some comments there. Okay. Yeah, death by, some funny comments here. Lemon drops, death by soapy massage. Well, I can think of worse ways to go. Mike from Wales. Yeah, many trout have attacked me about fishing. Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of people an alarming number of people who die, you know, from angling, from river sports. You'd be surprised. Antivirus, he died covered in ladyboys. I love your name, by the way. Paul Jeffrey, on the insurance, pay that a little bit more and get a top-notch policy, pal. Okay, fine. Yogi Bear, every day you should face one thing that scares you, okay? I'm not going to face Stella out of the social club. I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen her before. I couldn't face her again. Okay. Jonathan Baldwin, nice to hear from you. Kim Farang from the jungle. No more brandy. Well, what are you trying to say? Oh, that is quality. That is quality. I'll tell you what, for the 13.5 quid, that would give Courvoisier a run for its money. Where are we? Yeah, Paul Hoskin, how many people wear undies in Thailand? Don't be vulgar. Yeah. Melton Mulberry pork pie. You've had the vaccine, even if you've got the antivirus, you'll be fine. Oh, now there's a questionable point, isn't it? Even if I have I've had the 2 doses. I've had 2 doses of the of the vaccine, 2 doses of it, parts 1 and 2. I know that there's about a 3rd one, but if I was to get the antivirus, Well, I wouldn't say. I think I'd have a better chance of getting through it, but I wouldn't say I would be 100%, fine. It's also, I mean, if you've also got to consider if you did end up in a Mexican hospital, and I've never been in a hospital in any country abroad. Uh, if you did end up in a Mexico, I can't imagine it being a great deal of fun. But you've got to face the consequences. Niall Purdy, I have travelled in Southeast Asia, Japan, USA, Australia, New Zealand without any issues, but I got mugged in Barcelona on 2 occasions. Yeah, but let me tell you a little bit about Barcelona. I've never ever been to Barcelona. I've been to Spain, I've been to Valencia, Benidorm, and Alicante, and a couple of other places. Okay, I never made it to Barcelona, but Barcelona is. I've met a lot of people over the years who say that place is quite notorious for muggings and for robberies, street robberies, pickpockets. Apparently, it's quite notorious for this. Now, I don't like talking about countries or places which I've never been to, and I've never ever been to Barcelona, never ever been there. And then a friend of mine said to me, like, guess where I'm going, for my birthday with my missus? We're going to Barcelona. Yeah, okay. And I said, oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I've heard it's a nice place and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? Because I've never been there, I don't, as a matter of principle, like talking about places that I've never been to. I'll leave that to the armchair experts. So even though I'd heard so many people saying that Barcelona, beware of pickpockets, even muggers, beware, robbers, all the rest of it, I deliberately did not tell my friend this. I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him what I heard simply because I didn't want to kill for it. And I don't like talking about places. I like first-hand knowledge. I don't like talking about places that I've never been to. So I deliberately didn't tell him what I'd heard. Okay? So him and his missus, they went to Barcelona. And guess what? He was wearing a gold chain around his neck. £1,000 gold chain, yeah? Somebody come up behind him, put his arms around him, some, big, shady-looking guy. And the next thing you know, this £1,000 gold chain had been robbed. It had gone missing, okay? He was robbed of £1,000 gold chain. And he was really gutted about it. And when I seen him, he was telling me about this. I got robbed of £1,000 gold chain wrapped around my neck. And in a way, I felt a little bit, do you know what, mate? Somehow, I don't like talking about places that I've never been to, but on that occasion, I wished that I had told him what I'd heard. I wish that I'd told him that. I've never been to Barcelona, but I've heard a lot of people saying, be bloody careful at that place. You got £1,000 chain robbed. Oh, well. Personally, I wouldn't have £1,000 gold chain around my neck anyway. Let's see, who's in it? I am Spartacus. I'm Spartacus as well. Had a great time in Barcelona a few years ago. Amazing, but I think you have to be streetwise there. Lots of illegals there now. Do you think Thailand or Indonesia will be open? Mark Green, do you think Thailand or Indonesia will be open and worth a trip in January? A couple of comments about that. Apparently, Indonesia. I would love to travel through Indonesia. I've been to Bali, which I wasn't that keen on, but I would love to. I would love to go to Indonesia. I'm sure Indonesia would be a fascinating place to cars. I would fascinating, but I think they've got a different. Two things about that. I've heard that is now very, very much on the red list for us UK people in Indonesia. Apparently, they're having terrible spikes there. Terrible anti-virus problems, but also. They have a different climate to the rest of Southeast Asia. I think if you want the weather, I think the best time to go to a place like that is actually around about this time of year, May, June, July. But Bazwookie, yeah, okay, absolutely. Jesus, I'm going through this chat here. Chibi Chabi. It's fun pronouncing some of these names. Indonesia currently back in lockdown. Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd like to travel to Indonesia. I would, but I would, but I've heard that it's a lot of these places. Even if you can get to them, remember you've got to have value for money. If you're going to spend the time and effort and you know, traveling to these countries, you want value for money. You're going to spend a lot of money, so you want that country to live up to expectations. And right now, a lot of them are simply not living up to expectations. Unless your expectations are bloody closed bars and having to wear a mask everywhere. Apparently in Mexico, you know, you have to wear a mask everywhere right now. Yeah, Leonard Washington, if you've never been there, you should have told him. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Okay, 55 minutes. We've got 389 in the chat. This is a simple little live stream. There's none of the fun and games tonight. I'll leave that to Thursday night. We'll have a bit of fun and games on Thursday. A bit of Roger or Dodger. I know some people like it and some people hate it. Maybe a couple of other things. Maybe a couple of other little things. And entertainment things. We've got to talk about something. Even if we talk about absolute bollocks, then it's better than nothing, isn't it? Okay. Let's see now. Monkey House, no good. 55 minutes and no mention. Bar fines and power lines. 55 minutes and no mention of Madagascar. Do you keep going about Madagascar? I've heard that that's really, really good. The only African country I've ever been to is Ethiopia. I went traveling through there for a month, and it was very, 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 very disgusting in a lot of ways. But there was good things and bad things. There was a few people who try and rip me off there. You got to be a little bit streetwise there. But one thing about Ethiopia, surprisingly, they do a lovely, lovely, lovely variety of local beers. Hakim Stout, Amber Beer, lovely, lovely stuff. And also, it was a bit of a thrill, drinking beer in a ramshackle little bar with Ethiopian people. It was good fun. But I don't think Africa is the right place for me. Somehow, I don't think it's right. It's quite the right place for me. Let's see. Jonathan Baldwin, Mark Green, Boracay is quality. I've been to Boracay. I've been to Boracay. Tom in Thailand, strange question. Ed, what will be your first bar when you finally get back to Pattaya? Any of the bars there, are they still going to be open? It's going to be a long time, really. It's going to be a lot of those bars are closing, and Paul Jeffrey, let's talk about bollocks, okay? All right, fine, absolutely. We'll talk bollocks anyway. Well, I'm pretty good at that. Okay, what else have we got now? Hello, Eddie. Love your chat. Been solo traveling 30 years, all Europe. Never had any trouble. Just dress casual. Don't start any trouble. Only place I've been mugged, one of them Soho clip joints when I was 18. Absolutely. Absolutely. So been talking bollocks for an hour. Okay, if bollocks is what it is, then bollocks is the name of the game, okay? Owen Bolden bankrupt in Ethiopia now. Really? He's been there before. I haven't seen those latest videos. Seaman Eyes 41. I'd rather talk about boobs and bombs, okay? We'll talk. What do you want to talk about boobs and bombs, okay? What do you want to say? What have we got to say about boobs and bombs? Let's see. George Orwell, what is the best beer in the world? The best beer in the world? Well, I kind of like Speckled Hen. I also like Kronenberg. I like Perlenbacher from Lidl's. That's really good. When I'm in Thailand, I drink Heineken. Simply because I'm not really a big fan of the Thai beers, Singer and Leo and all of those. They're all right. But somehow Heineken there goes back better. Let's see. To St. John, no mask required in bars, clubs in Colombia or Mexico. Okay, so I was watching a video today, which I think was a couple of months, no, one of them was about a week old, one of these videos. And they were saying that in certain places in Cancun or Playa del Carmen, that, you know, you can be fined for not wearing a mask, and be careful about the bezies out there, the police, because they're out to earn a bit of the, you know, bit of commission, aren't they? And I had about 5 people who were in a taxi who weren't wearing masks, and the police stopped them and charged them basically, you know, they were after about $150 US dollars each, but they got them down to $100 each, you know, for the 5 of them, you know. So, yeah, you know, I don't know what the script is right now. Everything can change in 5 minutes. Yours travels, no mask needed in Mexico. I have family there. Okay, okay. You just got to be really attentive at all this. You've got to follow everything. Anything can change in 5 minutes. Anything can change in 5 minutes. Okay. What's that? Billy Bob, Eddie, avoiding talking about your pals won't make them disappear. Okay, fine and dandy. Melton Mowbray pork pie. Whenever Ed has nothing good to say about a country he visited, he compliments the alcohol. Nice point, mate. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Okay, now I've got some grub in the oven. I think I will be bringing up some grub pretty soon. Let's see, what else have we got in the chat? Matt Traveller. James Cup, don't you like Bud Light, Eddie? No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Bud Heavy or Bud Light. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Cold beer is the best. Bud Heavy, no mass needed in Mexico. Incredible Kicks 23. Let's see. Incredible Kicks 23. Oh, here comes my birthday party in Pattaya next year. I would bloody hope so. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't mind throwing my own birthday party next year. I'm going to be the big 6-0. I know you probably thought that I was already the big 6-0 and beyond, but I will be celebrating my 60th birthday next year, and I wouldn't mind doing it in Pattaya. I wouldn't mind that at all. But what's the situation? Can you think a year in advance? I can't. I can't. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Somebody said Cornish pasties. You know what? I was almost tempted to nip to Sainsbury's tonight. Sainsbury's, the big Sainsbury's, does the best Cornish pasties. They really, really do. Some of the smaller local Sainsbury's, not so good. But they do. I really, really, I would have had, they would have been on the menu tonight. Maybe Thursday night. Maybe Thursday night. Some XXX 2009 sounds like a bloody science fiction movie. Been going to Amsterdam for years, love the place. People so negative about that place, love the reactions when you tell them where you've been. And Amsterdam is terrific. Those girls in the windows are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, you don't get very along with them. We're not going to talk about the currencies and all this kind of stuff. You don't get very along with them, okay? But what you do get is quality. And basically, if you really want to splash the cash, you know, if you've got deep pockets, you want to splash, that's the place to do it. Those girls are lovely. I'll tell you what, I've come across a couple of, you know, sly buggers, you know, sly bastards amongst the birds there. One of them was an Albanian girl. Another one was a Colombian girl, funnily enough. But all the others were absolutely fantastic. I mean, Amsterdam, they're lovely. They're beautiful. They're really, really seriously good-looking women. Bulgarian girls, Romanians, a Hungarian girl with big knockers, blondes with big knockers, absolutely magnificent. If you got money to burn, go out there and have your fun. But thing about you got to remember that Amsterdam, it's not cheap. It's quite an expensive city, but I think you get what you pay for. Bloody good place, good place. Let's see, Jonathan Baldwin, the women who were working in Pattaya are now offering their services on dating sites and they may not return. My thoughts are with them. My thoughts are with them. Good luck. If they've got to earn a living, then good luck luck to them. Okay. I ask for you know, those lovely Thai girls who work in the bars and massage parlors. Uh, they're obviously struggling for money big time. Because there's no tourists, they've got to earn money somehow. And my thoughts are with them, and I say good luck to them. Isn't it funny how the fat ugly feminists are not? Yeah, what have they got to say about this? Where's their comment about those lovely Thai girls who can no longer make money because the tourists are not girls? Sorry, the tourists are not there. What have the feminists got to say about this? They probably don't care. They probably say, well, that industry should be dead anyway, and all the fellas who go out there are disgusting they are. I don't like seeing anyone who being short of money. Anyone who wants to go out and regardless of what they do, they want to earn money. I you know I don't like seeing anybody going short of money. I don't like seeing anyone going hungry. Steve Runshaw, the women you find in Amsterdam you couldn't afford on Walking Street. Probably the case, yeah. Paul Hoskin, what did the girls do before raises? What did the girls do before raises? Well, they were nice and hairy. That's what they were. They were lovely and hairy. I mean, I like hairy women. Beautiful, lovely. Oh, Jesus, where did this come? All these women with tattoos and silk, and that's one bloody thing. But why did women start shaving their womanly parts? Why did they start? Where the hell did that come from? Somebody saw some bloody celebrity somewhere, probably show their shaven haven, you know what I mean? And lots of other girls thought, oh, that's the trendy thing to do. And then it spread like wildfire. Now they're all bloody shaven. And I said, when you were a young man and you used to go to the bars and the clubs and whatever, and you used to pull a beard, it was one of the things next day, your mate would say to you, all right, so how was you? How did you get on with you? You'd say, oh, God almighty, it's absolutely class, absolutely brilliant. And you know what? Not only was she good, she had a nice hairy muff. That was like a winning formula for girls, having a nice hairy muff and all that. Nowadays, they say, "Oh, I'm not having that. That's bloody unhygienic. That is." I miss hairy muffs. I really, really do. I reckon we should start a campaign to bring them back. Okay. Even I'd say what even. There is a lovely word which people don't use very much now. I very, very rarely hear it. I'd say, okay, before I go into this, I'm going to tell you something, right? A woman, pretending to be a woman, sent me a message quite recently and saying, look, Ed, I like your videos, this, that, and the other, but your humour is too barrack room for me. It's too barrack room, okay? Okay, well, when have I ever said that I'm appealing to women? This is a man's channel. If women want to watch it, well, welcome. But this is for the boys, this is, okay? This is for the men. Barrack room humour. So it does me so, why not start a little bit of a segment with unashamed barrack room humour, okay? So I'll tell you what, before we go, I've got some grub in the oven anyway. Before we go, let's do a little bit of barrack room humour. Now, the thing is, YouTube is American. They don't always understand it. British ways, okay? So let's see, before we go, it's towards the end of the program anyway, how about this? How about doing one of those things that crop up on Facebook now and again? A movie or a song title where you substitute one word in the title for a certain word. And the word that I'm going to choose is a lovely, lovely word, a beautiful word, a very, very English word. It's the word fanny. Okay? Now, I don't like the word vagina. I don't like that word. It's too clinical and unsexy. I don't like that word. But the word fanny, that's a lovely word. That's a lovely word. It's a lovely, feminine, very, very feminine word. Lovely, okay? So I'll tell you what we'll do, before we play on now, let's get a bit silly. Let's do a bit of barrack room humour. Does anyone know of a movie or a song title which you could name and substitute one word in the title for the word fanny. And I'm going to kickstart this one, okay? I'm going to kickstart it, okay? How about that timeless, that soul-wrenching, soulful, heartbreaking, tear-jerking, timeless classic, When a Man Loves a Fanny? How about that one for starters, okay? Now, can anyone do better than that? Okay? Anyone? Come on, let's say a movie or a movie or a song title. We're substituting one word in the title for the word fanny. It's a lovely word, beautiful word, that is, beautiful word. But yeah, Dell, back to the fanny. Good for you. Good, that's a good one, yeah. Tulip Jaws. If I love the feminine shade of it, you know, Fanny by Gaslight. That was a real movie. That was a real Live and Let Fanny. Return of the bridge over the river Fanny. Oh, love it, love it. This is fun. This is barrack room unit. It's absolute rubbish. It's bollocks. It's nonsensical. But come on, let's have a bit of a laugh. Jay Cutter, Clockwear Fanny. Steve Runshaw, Saturday Night Fanny. Okay, Brian Dawson, fantastic. Glenn Passmore, gone with the fanny. Fanny was, oh, gee. Oh yeah, Ian Spartacus, Saving Private Fanny. Okay. Yeah, Graham Stewart, the fanny things. It's good to have YouTubes in that. They don't get these words. I think that word is something a bit milder in American language, isn't it? Done deal. All quiet on the fanny front. Oh, I'll tell you what, Tom in Toyland, you're very naughty there, but it's good. 50. Yeah. Jamie Tuesday, we didn't start the fanny. Okay. Greg, take a load of fanny. That's a line from what was it? The band. But yeah, Allied throws a fistful of fanny. I'm surprised nobody's got my favorite kung fu classic right now. Enter the Fanny. I'm surprised no one's got that one. Bridge over the river Fanny. The good, the bad, and the Fanny. Okay, now I'm sure there's a couple of bloody women out there somewhere watching this. Hello, if you're watching this, I'm sure there's a couple of women out there who were sitting there and they were spitting. Oh, they're probably watching me like that famous story about the Sex Pistols when they started swearing on TV, and some guy got up and kicked his bloody TV, and I'm sure there's some ladies watching this right now who are thinking, "You dirty bastard, you bloody dirty drunken alcoholic bastard. This is typical of you, typical of you." Okay, you can think what you like about me. Okay, I'm sitting there, I'm having fun, I'm talking to some wonderful people, and I'm drinking a lovely brandy. 13.5 quid out of Lidl's. What else have we got? One flew over the fanny nest. Super. I played fanny. Okay. Oh yeah, Jay Cutts has got one of my favorite, Dirty Fanny. Absolutely. Same as I suppose you want to sound of fun. Okay. Nightmare of Kev Bengal fanny. So imagine that is good. That is good. Okay, I love it. Clark Gainer somewhere over the fanny. Oh my God, this is good. Some good stuff over there. Someone's probably ringing YouTube right now at this very moment saying, listen, this guy here, he's British, okay? Now, you American don't understand the way, us British people find this really offensive, so they're probably explaining, the meaning of the word fanny in British terms, okay? Tom and Tom, the fistful of fannies. Paul Jeffrey, the fanny that's happy. So okay. Anyway, to the lady who accused me of barrack room humor, okay. I hope you're watching this right now. And come on. Well, we're all lads together, and maybe you, missus, maybe you're a bit of a ladette in your own little way, okay? Diligent Crowd's been a hard day's fun. I'll tell you what, I better get me dinner out soon. I'll tell you what, 1:14, okay, I've gone on a bit longer than I thought. Be back in a minute, okay? Don't get too vulgar. I'll be back in a minute, okay? And be back. Squeaky door time. That's what I meant. Squeaky door time. Be back in a minute. Oh, okay. How are we doing? How are we doing? There's still 332 people in the chat. Philip Mulville. Seamus Doherty, Lord of the Fannies. Okay, listen, I've just checked on me dinner, okay? I'm having a Lidl's lasagna, which is about, what is a Lidl's lasagna? It's not in the same league as a Co-op lasagna, but I think it's only about 67 pence or something ridiculous like that. Also some fries and a couple of spicy chicken wings from Lidl's, which is my current favorite, okay? They're in the oven at the moment. I'm going to dish them out soon anyway, so I'll probably fall asleep while I'm eating. Yeah, bar fan, lock, stock, and two smoking fannies. Bloody good stuff. Love it. Yogi Bear, the dark side of the oh. Diligent crab. Wherever I lay my fanny, that's my home. How about that in a lovely song? I think it was a Bette Midler song, The Wind Beneath My Fanny. Okay, listen. I hopefully, Big Brother won't catch on to all of this. Listen, I've gone on for almost an hour and 20 minutes. So the theme of this live stream, right, is really the word reckless. Okay, it's really the word reckless. You have got to be a bit reckless. You got to be a bit reckless, okay, at this moment in time, because at the end of the day, you got a choice. Either you're going to book the flight and get out there and suffer the consequences, or you're going to stay home and be miserable and you know live a boring life for another year, okay? And maybe by the next live stream, which will be Thursday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to try and dig out that voucher that I got. And what the hell, I'm looking at, you know, maybe booking that flight this week. I'm looking at booking the flight, okay? So if I book the flight let's just see what happens anyway. But you just got to be reckless. All the negative stuff, all the people who say, no, don't do it. Don't do it, you're crazy, you do it. Oh, to hell with everything. To hell with everything. Could just get out there and do it. I've got to have a life again. I've got to have a life out there. Andrew McMullen, Schindler's Fanny, Clark Gate, 2001: A Space Fanny. These are also my favorite movies. Greg, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. Ben Harrison, The Texas Fanny Massacre. I like that one. I like that one. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's good. Okay. Yogi Bear, Ed, one life, live it. Okay. And on that note, I will say good night. Okay. It's wonderful having your company. I'm going to be back at 10 o'clock Thursday night, UK time. Will I have booked that flight by then? Will you have booked a flight by then? Do you agree with me that at the end of the day, you've got to be a bit reckless? You've got to be a bit reckless at this moment in time, because this is something none of us have ever faced before, okay? All right, last winter was the first winter in 20 years that I didn't go traveling. Okay, I can live with that, but I can't live with another year without going traveling. And while I've still got my health about me, I need to get out there and live my life. I need to get out there and live my life. I want my life back. Okay, simple as that. Listen, thanks to everyone. Neil Fleet, nice to hear from you, mate. Thanks to everybody. I will say good night. Thank you. God bless you all. Keep thinking positive, and I'll see you on Thursday. Anyway, hopefully a bit of positive news. Anyway, all the best, mate. Cheers. I'll see you on Thursday night. Cheers.